about courage in the weirdest of places. Mine came full circle at a networking event. I had bought this ticket to go to this event. It was an important event. Big speakers. There were going to be agents that one look could change your life forever. I just knew this is my moment. And it was going to be my big break because I was still operating under the mistaken assumption that life gives you big breaks. It doesn't. You work for it. But still, I was going to go to this networking event and I needed the perfect outfit. So I get on the internet, and judging by my appearance, it probably makes sense to you that I would order a pair of bright silver sequined palazzo pants. I know what you're thinking. That's a lot of sequins. It's like bedazzling a walrus. But all I gotta say, honey, if you're gonna make them in my size, don't be judging me for wearing them. So they come in, I try them on, they fit perfectly. Well, they only went halfway up the back, but that's okay, because they were low rise. And I decided I didn't want to drive. The event was driving distance. I was going to wait and get to the hotel before I put them on because I didn't want to mess them up. I mean, we're talking about hundreds and thousands of sequins, top to bottom, all around the whole thing. I mean, I look good. So I'm in the bathroom outside of the lobby, waiting to go in. And I changed. I was in there by myself. I looked in the mirror. I was kind of pumping myself up, singing my theme song, "You're gonna hear me roar." And I start to take a step out of that door, ready to step into my future. And I take a step and I hear this noise. It was like a I thought maybe it was the pipes. I didn't see anybody under the stalls. I didn't know what it was, but it stopped. So I took another step. Now, you're probably starting to figure it out, but it took one more step before I finally realized where that noise was coming from. It was coming from my thighs. Every step I took, all those sequins, what are they? Metal, plastic? I don't know. They are loud. They start squishing and crunching together in Mortal Kombat. It sounded like I was walking on gravel, like I was chewing glass. Because there were two words I'd failed to take into consideration when purchasing these pants. Chub Rub. Some of you are like, I don't know what that is. Oh, bless your heart. Chub rub is when your thighs rub together when you walk. It's a thing. It's painful. They got lotions for it. Somebody sent me a recipe for a chub rub lotion. I didn't know. We even have our own club if you want to join us, called the Chub Rub Club. We're having t-shirts made, Chub Rub Club, where thigh gap is for losers. If it's really bad, you join Chub Rubbers Anonymous. My name is Kelly Swanson. It's been 30 days since my last rash. My rock bottom happened on Sunday morning in church when I wore corduroys. They asked me to sing the solo, and the friction caused sparks. They had to put me out in the baptismal pool. Give her a token, Frank. I'm standing in that bathroom. It wasn't funny in this moment. I'm like, what am I going to do? I got nothing to change into except my yoga pants that I'd worn over, that I wear everywhere, except yoga. I got 25 pair of yoga pants. I never walked in the door, but now I can, see. Something slipped out of place. So I'm standing in that bathroom. I'm like, what am I going to do? I can't. I paid a lot of money to be at this event. I got to go. So I said, okay, Kelly, you're going to be resourceful. You're just going to stand in the back and just let everybody walk by you. You're going to wave. Everything will be fine. So next thing you know, I'm standing in the doorway of that ballroom. I'm looking in. Everybody's wearing khakis and faded floral shirts because I did not get the memo that said dress is casual, theme is Hawaiian tropic. I'm standing at the door looking like Elvis. The later years. I see a chair about 4 feet away. I said, Kelly, just get to that chair. That's all you got to do. Get to that chair right there, sit in the back of the room, and then just let people come to you. It'll be fine. It's only about 4 or 5 feet to get to that chair, but I'm going to tell you what, that's a long 4 or 5 feet when you got to get there without your thighs touching. And look natural. And every once in a while, a little would squeak out. But it's okay. I pretended like it was my ringtone. So I'd be like, hello. Kelly's listening. I finally got to that chair, losing a couple of sequins along the way. And I sit down, and I was sweating. I was out of breath, but I had made it just in time. Just in time to see the sign on the table. That said reserved for staff. And little Miss Cute Thing beside me's tapping me on the shoulder. She's all like, we got a table up front for you. I was like, of course you do. Like 10, 15 tables up to the front, I gotta go. And I'm sitting there and I'm having a moment. And this voice in my head is just shouting at me louder than anything. It's like, get out of here. Run. Walk, run. You don't belong in this room. You're not good enough. You look foolish. You look silly. You're an idiot. You don't belong. These are the big players. These aren't the people that are like you. You don't belong here. Get out. I've been telling you that your whole life. Nobody cares. And then there's that other voice that's getting loud, especially as I'm rounding on 50. She is raring up. And she's like, that how you're going to play this? She says, you're going to write a story that says you failed before you've even started. You're going to get out there and you're going to tell all these people all over the world to embrace what makes them unique. And then you don't have the courage to do it yourself. Makes you a fake, makes you a fraud. You need to walk your own talk. You're the one who says this doesn't matter. Honor your gifts. What's the worst that could happen? Who knows? You may have a funny story out of it. You will, not tonight. Because if you leave this room, you're going to leave every single room from here on out. Whatever story you write, your brain obeys. It doesn't know the difference. And so in that moment, I believed her. And I stood up, I took a deep breath, and I said, thighs, do your thing. And I began to march. I marched with emphasis. I pounded my thighs together on purpose. I stopped at every table. I shook hands. Sequins were jumping ship left and right. I'd stop. People go, where's that noise coming from? I was like, it's coming from my thighs. Apparently down there, the party's already started. I was the first one on that dance floor. I didn't care. I was dancing. That light was hitting my pants. I looked like a strobe light. People started gathering around me. They were laughing. They were pointing. They were high-fiving me. They were buying me drinks. They were like, Chub Rub Girl. They were sharing their stories. And everybody had a quirky, weird story just like me. Nobody felt perfect. Nobody felt good enough. Even these important people were just like me, only in a different way. And I'm sure there were people around the outskirts who were still smirking, pointing, bless her hearting. But that's okay, because in this moment, from here on out, it wasn't my problem anymore. It was theirs, because I was Chub Rub Girl. I made so many friends that night. I walked out with a stack of business cards, people who wanted to book me and didn't even know what I spoke about. People who gathered the sequins off the floor and put them in a little baggie for me to take home. I get to the doorway, I'm about to leave, and there's one agent standing in the doorway. He's a big time agent, eats speakers like me for breakfast. I thought, oh great, here's my wet blanket. Right here. Here's every negative voice rolled into one. But he didn't. He pulled out his card. He said, I want you to call me tomorrow. I want to talk to you about working together. Got a TV show. And we've been looking, and I quote, we've been looking for somebody just like you. Chub Rub, he said. That's hilarious. And he shuffled off. And in that moment, I'm standing there having a moment just as I am today, and maybe just as you are too. I'm standing there in that moment realizing that everything that had made me weird, that had made me different, had become the things that had made me great. The things that I had been hiding were the things that the world wanted most. They didn't need me to be perfect. They just wanted me to be pink.